Prediction 1: AI companions that know you better than yourself. This isn't some distant dream. Right now, artificial intelligence systems are learning to predict your emotions, finish your sentences, and understand your needs before you even express them. Companies like OpenAI, Google, and others are developing AI assistants that can hold genuine conversations, remember your preferences across months of interaction, and adapt their personality to match yours. Scientists predict that by 2030, most people will have an AI companion they talk to daily, not because they're lonely, but because these digital entities will become genuinely helpful friends who never forget your birthday, always know what advice you need, and can see patterns in your behavior that help you make better decisions. Prediction 2: the death of traditional jobs and rise of the creator economy. This sounds scary until you realize it's already happening. Right now, millions of people are earning full-time incomes from YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Substack, and platforms that didn't exist 15 years ago. Meanwhile, traditional office jobs are being automated away by AI and robots. Economists predict that by 2035, over 50% of workers in developed nations will be self-employed creators, consultants, or gig workers, not because they chose to leave traditional employment, but because traditional employment will have fundamentally changed. AI will handle most routine cognitive work while humans focus on creativity, emotional connection, and the uniquely human skills that machines can't replicate. Prediction 3: lab-grown meat becomes cheaper than animal meat. If you think this sounds impossible, consider that companies like Upside Foods and Eat Just are already selling cultivated chicken in restaurants. Researchers have reduced production costs by 99% in just the past decade. Scientists now predict that by 2030, lab-grown meat will be cheaper, healthier, and more environmentally friendly than traditional meat. Your children might grow up in a world where killing animals for food seems as barbaric as we now view other outdated practices. And this isn't just about ethics. Cultivated meat uses 95% less land, 78% less water, and produces 96% fewer greenhouse gas emissions than conventional livestock farming. Prediction 4: neural implants become as common as smartphones. This seems extreme until you learn that Neuralink has already implanted chips in human brains that allow paralyzed people to control computers with their thoughts. Thousands of people already have implanted medical devices for conditions like Parkinson's disease and epilepsy. Neuroscientists predict that by 2040, elective brain-computer interfaces will be available for healthy people who want enhanced memory, instant language translation, or the ability to share thoughts and emotions directly with others, essentially making telepathy real through technology. Prediction 5: virtual real estate worth more than physical property. This already started when a virtual plot of land in Decentraland sold for $2.4 million. Companies are buying virtual storefronts in the metaverse, and digital worlds are creating their own economies where people earn real money. Economists predict that by 2035, the most valuable real estate won't be in Manhattan or Tokyo, but in immersive digital spaces where billions of people spend their time. When you can create infinite physical space in virtual reality, the truly scarce resource becomes desirable locations with high foot traffic in the most popular digital worlds. Prediction 6: personalized medicine designed for your DNA. This future arrived quietly when companies like 23andMe began offering genetic testing for under $100. Doctors are now using CRISPR to edit genes and cure diseases that were once considered incurable. Medical researchers predict that by 2030, your standard doctor's visit will include a full genetic analysis that tells you exactly which medications will work for your body, which diseases you're at risk for, and how to adjust your diet and lifestyle based on your unique genetic code, essentially making one-size-fits-all medicine as outdated as bloodletting. Prediction 7: commercial space travel becomes normal. This sounds like pure science fiction, except that SpaceX is already launching astronauts regularly, while companies like Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic are selling tickets for suborbital flights. Aerospace engineers predict that by 2040, you'll be able to book a flight to a space hotel or a moon base the same way you now book a trip to Paris. Costs will drop from millions of dollars to roughly the price of a luxury car as reusable rockets and competition drive prices down. Prediction 8: energy becomes free or nearly free. Solar and battery technology is improving exponentially, and we're already seeing this transformation. Solar power is becoming cheaper than coal in most countries. while battery storage costs have dropped 90% in the past decade. Energy economists predict that by 2035, electricity in sunny regions will be so cheap that it's essentially free during peak sunlight hours. This will transform everything from how we heat our homes to how we power our cars to how we desalinate water, making energy abundance rather than scarcity the defining feature of the late 21st century. Prediction 9. The end of aging as we know it. This sounds impossible until you learn that scientists have already extended the lifespan of mice by 40% using genetic modifications and senolytics that clear out damaged cells. Billionaires are pouring billions into longevity research. Gerontologists now openly discuss not just extending lifespan but extending health span. The years you live in good health. Researchers predict that babies born today might routinely live past 120 years old, not through some magical cure but through a combination of gene therapy, cellular regeneration, nanomedicine, and AI-designed drugs that target the specific mechanisms of aging. Prediction 10. Universal basic income becomes necessary. This sounds radical until you realize that countries are already testing it. Trials in Finland, Kenya, and several U.S. cities show that giving people money without requiring work doesn't make them lazy. It actually helps them retrain, start businesses, and contribute to society in new ways. Economists predict that by 2040, most developed nations will have some form of UBI, not because of ideology but because of necessity. As AI becomes capable of performing most cognitive work and robots handle most physical labor, we're forced to completely reimagine the relationship between work, money, and human value.